Good morning. And welcome to this service at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tucson. My name is Thomas Gregg, and I am the worship associate this morning. Today is Sunday, June 21st, 2026. Happy Juneteenth weekend, and happy Father's Day. We have fathers here today. You might just raise your hand. Yes, congratulations. Wonderful. Congratulations to you all. Happy Pride Month, and happy, I wanted to say congratulations to the Unitarian Universalist Association for wrapping up its General Assembly even as we speak. Our community is striving to become as varied as the blooms of the Sonoran Desert. Whoever you have been, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. And whoever you are becoming, we welcome you and invite you to bring your whole self here now. Joining Reverend Jamili today is our wonderful, I didn't write wonderful there, but it's true, wonderful transitions consultant, Francis Prévost. Très bien. Some housekeeping. There are gender-specific bathrooms out the glass doors behind you, and there is also an accessible and gender-inclusive single-stall restroom in the AV alcove. Also, on Sunday mornings only, the sanctuary, the social hall, our parking lots, and our children's classrooms are open to all without invitation. However, we have designated a number of other areas as private, even on Sunday mornings. Private offices are labeled, and entry to those spaces is by invitation only for all of us, and also for any law enforcement officers, including ICE, unless they have a proper signed judicial warrant. If you do not feel safe and need to take advantage of these spaces, you are now invited. As we worship today, let us always remain mindful of those desert people who came first to this place. We honor the O'odham, the Yaqui, and the Apache, and we also honor the Hohokam and the many other ancient indigenous peoples whose names are not known to us. As Unitarian Universalists, one of our core values is equity. Equity. We declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. As we move more deeply into the sacred space of worship, please know that you are indeed welcome here. However you arrived, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, whatever cultural and ethnic background you claim, whatever your immigration status, whomever you love, however you identify your gender, and in whatever way you choose to express it, you are truly welcome here. We especially welcome any new visitors this morning. If you are new and feeling up to it, we invite you to raise your hand so we can welcome you warmly. Any visitors today? Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay, so this might be the highlight of the service here, watching the pulpit descend from Tom. Oh, am I getting taller? That has never happened to me before. Good morning, everyone. I am the Reverend Jamili Omar. I am honored to serve as the minister here, and I am coming today after our National General Assembly, the UUA Association's national meeting. This year we were held online. The meeting conducts the business of our association, just like our own annual meeting conducts our business. And it gives attendees the opportunities to learn, to listen to amazing speakers, to review connections, to renew and regrow connections with our siblings from across the world, quite literally. And every year at GA, since 1922, the American Unitarian Association was gifted $5,000 to start a lecture series, which they started in 1922. So how many years is that? There you go, a lot. I told Cynthia this morning, it's too early to do math. The Unitarians and the Unitarian Universalists have invited distinguished guests every year to address the General Assembly, called the Ware Lecture, named after Harriet E. Ware of Milton, Massachusetts, who donated the original funds to that speaker. Previous Ware Lectures have included intellectuals, poets, musicians, activists, and politicians, including the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., Kurt Vonnegut, the author, Mary Oliver, who I always say is one of our UU martyrs, angels, Krista Tippett, Holly Neer, who performed right here on our stage, and Reinhold Niebuhr, which I thought was a really interesting choice. This year's speaker started by asking us this question: who are you called to be now? Who are you called to be now? In our society, when our values clash with society, when it's hard to live into our highest values in the world as it is, who are you called to be? This might be the most difficult question for each one of us as we grapple with it throughout our lives, and our answers might change throughout our lives. So, on this Sunday, as Tom reminded us, the Sunday after Juneteenth, when we grieve the humane brutality of chattel slavery in the U.S., and when we celebrate the day in 1865 when the last enslaved people learned of their freedom. On the Sunday of Father's Day, when we grieve with those who have lost a father, fathers who have lost children, the pain that some of us suffer from abandonment, neglect, and abuse, and when we celebrate those people who are sharing their wisdom, their support, their endurance, and love with others in all the different ways that we parent. And on this Sunday in Pride Month, when we grieve the ongoing loss of rights, of freedom, of human dignity across the globe and in our backyards, and simultaneously when we celebrate being together in all of our full humanity. On this Sunday, let us remember that we are called to affirm equity. Every person, not just the ones that I agree with, but every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. Let us also be called to affirm the interdependence that implies. We are called to create and nurture sustainable relationships of care, respect, mutuality, and justice. We work to repair harms and damaged relationships and damaged individuals. So in this spirit, come, let us worship together. If you're at home and you have a chalice with you or a candle, please light yours as we light ours here, as Tom lights ours here, as we say these words together. May this flame, symbol of transformation since time began, fire our curiosity, strengthen our wills, and sustain our courage as we seek what is good within and around us.
Would you please stand as you were able, and let's sing Building a New Way, 1017 of the Teal Hymnal, and the words will be on the screen for those that can read them there. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building
for our own joys and sorrows and those of others, and for so many other reasons, we set aside this moment together to remember, to honor, and to hold dear the joys and sorrows in our lives. We symbolize our coming together with our shared bowl. With the large stones, we reach down to the stability and firmness of the earth, which has witnessed every migration and movement since it coalesced out of stardust. We know that this strength can hold all of our pains and joys, our loves and angers. With this water, we remember that this life-sustaining resource is not always available to all. We offer our witness to those migrating at this very moment, especially those moving through our desert without access to water. With our smaller stones, we add our own personal celebrations and mournings. Now it is your turn to contribute as you choose to. One way is to go to menti.com and put in the code, 65146143. Please add your name if you want us to know who is sharing on Menti. Another way to contribute is to come to one of the tables and to place a stone in the water to create ripples that will carry your intentions forward. The table in the back is off camera for those who prefer that option. And now I invite you to engage in a moment of silent reflection, meditation, or prayer as we create our own ripples of hope.
On our mentee today, love and endless appreciation for my father and life I could ask for. It's here. Don't turn it. Okay. I'm rotating so that my pack can be, but then I can't see. I really do need that eye in the back of my head. Can we start over? Love and endless appreciation for my husband and the best father and partner in parenting and life I could ask for. Amen for all the fathers and partners that are doing the work. Happy National Giraffe Day. The longest-necked animal celebrated on the longest day. It's also my 10th anniversary. Congratulations. That is an easy way to remember your anniversary. Glad to be home, Mel. We're so glad you made it back. Yay, Mel traveled. Joy, my husband and I recently started coming to this church, and I think we have found our place. While I am home watching online, he is there. The energy we receive on Sunday is invigorating. Beth. Thank you, Beth. And who's your spouse? Oh, there you are. Welcome. Glad you found your place here. Joy for an inspirational virtual general assembly where we use gathered in fellowship, conversation, and hope while doing the business of congregational polity. Steve Kranak. Thank you, Steve. Amen. It was very hopeful. Joy for time away and for coming home. And joy for having a home to come to, right? Gratitude and joy for the privilege and opportunity that allowed me to travel and learn more about other places and cultures, and for the safe travels, Wendy. Wendy, we are so glad you're back. Can I just tell you? Deep hope and prayer for peace in the Middle East. Yahweh can mean breath, love, eternal existence. Amen. Prayer for all the wars that are happening across this globe, just ravaged. We got them all. In that spirit of hope, join me in a moment of prayer or reflection or meditation or just listening as I read this poem called I Believe in Miracles by H.P. Rivers. They write, I believe in miracles, maybe not loaves and fishes, but perhaps the same $25 passed around a circle of friends, feeding dozens over time. I believe in miracles, maybe not God, but the gift of liberation. I believe in miracles, maybe not pure joy, but the miracle of grief unburdened by regret. I believe in miracles, maybe not angels in white robes coming down from the heavens, but teachers in well-loved cardigans, sharing the language of poetry with children for the very first time. I believe in miracles, maybe not illnesses healed or kings surrendered, but families repaired and addictions conquered. I believe in miracles, the way I believe a paycheck can stretch like Hanukkah oil, how just like Mom used to make, never tasted like pinched pennies, only love. I believe in miracles, not darkness conquered, but the womb revisited. I believe in miracles, perhaps not the act of creation, but more like the experience of it all, the miracle of a spectacular sunrise, a funeral sprinkled with laughter. I believe in miracles, perhaps not in resurrection, but of course I believe in springtime. I know who is in the garden is just resting a spell and who has already gone home. Spirit of life and love, may we offer our humble, if not sometimes begrudging, gratitude for the miracle of moments taken for granted, for minutes that feel like hours, for the miracle of mountaintops and coral reefs, the miracle of survival and ancient olive trees. After we offer our awe-struck, God-smacked, jaw-dropping wonder for the miracle of every single child, the miracle of vulnerable individuals kept safe by their communities for all recorded time. May we offer wholehearted amen of affirmation for the miracle of store-bought serotonin, the miracle of mental health care, the miracle of call to service, and of those who answer the call. Thank you, God and Goddess, for the miracle of noticing, the miracle of being known. Blessed be.
Please respond in song. And before you sing, fix in your head whether you're going to sing the song to yourself and be sung to, or whether you're going to sing it to someone else. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? Please stay in your seats as you sing.
Too much. Good morning. So, I'm Francis Prévost. As Tom said, you're a transitions consultant. I am the result of a big mistake. Yes, my mother told me that many times, so I have to believe it. And she sometimes added that this was her best mistake. Let me explain a bit. After my brother was born, they didn't want another child. Really, really not. Until that day, 5 years later, I don't know, being distracted for a moment, pasta, spilling over the stove or something happening, and here I am. I had a very happy childhood in France and no younger siblings. My parents were deeply caring, and I was especially close to my father. He challenged me, he questioned my choices. Well, let's say I did not follow a straight path. And yet, he always supported me. That support did not mean agreement. It meant presence. And in many ways, that is what we honor today. Father's Day is not only about biological fathers. It is about all those who guide, support, question, and stand beside others. It is about people who show up, especially when things are uncertain. It is about presence. And presence matters even more in times like these when so many people feel isolated, uncertain, or unseen. A church community cannot solve every problem in the world, but it can offer something precious. A place where people are welcomed, heard, and reminded that they do not have to carry life alone. At its best, a church like UUCT is a place of belonging. A place where people can come as they are without needing to explain who they are, defend how they present themselves, or justify how they arrived here. A place that says, you belong. You belong. Not because we're all the same, but because we have chosen to be in community. And there is also something deeper. We may call ourselves a church, a fellowship, a congregation, but there is a spiritual dimension to why you gather. Not something rigid or defined, but the sense that there is something larger than yourself, something that connects us. Something you feel in moments of compassion, honesty, and shared humanity. That connection is what brings you here. You gather not only for comfort, but also for courage. You gather to be reminded of what is possible when people choose compassion over fear, curiosity over judgment, and community over separation. In that sense, church is not an escape from the world. It is a place where we prepare ourselves to meet the world more truthfully and more lovingly. And sometimes the world, with all its challenges, comes to meet us here. This church has been through difficult times. There has been pain, there have been divisions, there have been moments that were not easy. And yet, what is remarkable is not that those things happened. What is remarkable is what this community has chosen to do about them. To recognize them, to speak about them, to hold itself accountable, to heal. What an amazing work has been done under the guidance of Reverend Dr. Samantha Wilson. I had the opportunity to be invited to the last sessions of the Healing and Accountability team, and I must say that it was eye-opening for me. It was a remarkable learning experience. To witness that work up close was to see a congregation taking itself seriously, not in a rigid way, but in a deeply responsible and loving one. Healing and accountability. It is not easy work. It has asked a great deal of this community. It takes courage. It takes humility. It takes a willingness to stay even when leaving the room, the community, would be easier. And people did stay. Some of you have been through those difficult times. You did not give up on this community. And others joined more recently, fully aware that community is not perfect and willing to embrace not only the light, but also the more difficult parts of this congregation's history. That matters. Because in spite of all that pain, this church is still here. And not just here, but stronger. That resilience is not accidental. It is something you have built together. And it is that resilience that gives me confidence in the future of this church. It tells me that this is a group of people who can build whatever future they choose for the congregation they love. This time of transition is making visible something we may sometimes forget, how important it is to have a minister. The congregation is not the minister. It does not disappear when ministers come and go. But good ministry matters. It helps hold a community steady in times of change. Ministers bring perspective, care, and spiritual leadership. They help us remember why we gather, especially when life becomes busy or when conflict, grief, or uncertainty can make us lose sight of our purpose. They call us back to our values, help us live more fully into them, and invite us to imagine what more we can become. Resilience is not just survival. Resilience is the decision to remain open, to keep building, to keep trusting that something meaningful can still grow even after hardship. That is why this church's story matters. It is not only a story of pain. It is a story of commitment, of courage, and renewal. Which brings me to what comes next this year. A new season is coming, like they say on streaming, you know? I hope you're enjoying this series. This fall, together, we will define a vision, a long-term project for the congregation. This work will take place over 3 months, with 2 opportunities each month to participate. The second Saturday of the month, we will meet in person in Goddard Hall. And the third Saturday of the month, we will meet on Zoom for those who couldn't attend the in-person meeting. This process will unfold in 3 steps. In September, we will look to the past. This is not a rehash of what has been said many times, unless you really want that. It will be your choice. This is more a share your stories kind of moment. We'll share them, good and bad. I'm sure we'll have a number of fun ones, and recognize the strengths and resilience that have brought this community to where it is today. In October, we will focus on the present. Who are we now? What do we do now? What do we love about this community? And what would we like to change or improve? And then, kind of the season finale, in November, we will turn toward the future. This is the moment to dream big, to imagine what this congregation could become, to express even the most daring hopes for the community you are building together. As you understand it, this process is not about a few people deciding for everyone. It is about all of you online too. So I really encourage you all to participate as much as you can. Whether in person or on Zoom, if you cannot come that day, your voice matters. This will be meaningful work. It will be fun. It will be tender. It will be at times emotional. And it will be exciting. Because it is about shaping the future of a community that you care about. My father did not always understand my path, and that's an understatement. But he stayed, he showed up, he supported me. And that kind of presence, steady, imperfect, but real, is what builds resilience. It is what builds community. The future of this congregation will not be shaped by one leader, one committee, or one perfect plan. It will be shaped by the steady willingness of people to care, to participate, and to imagine together. That is how communities endure. So perhaps the question for all of you is simple. Can you continue to show up for one another in that same way? Can you stay connected even if it's not easy? Can you keep choosing this community again and again? Because if you can, there is no limit to what this congregation can become. Thank you. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in
So Francis gets to ask us, who are we called to be? Who are we called to be? Who are you called to be now? This is the question that our Ware Assembly, Ware speaker, Ware lecturer, I think is her official title, asked us yesterday. And I want to tell you a little bit about her because I think you've probably heard of her. Her name is Bishop Marianne Edgar Bood, who serves as the first female bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Washington. She first came to my attention in 2025, the day after Donald Trump's second inauguration as president, and she delivered the homily at the Interfaith Prayer Service in the Washington National Cathedral. In attendance was the new Vice President, J.D. Vance, House Speaker Mike Johnson, Pete Hegseth, Defense Secretary, names we know, right? And in this sermon, Bishop Bood addressed Trump, who was sitting in the first pew, and she urged him to show mercy and compassion to vulnerable people, saying, quote, "Millions have put their trust in you, and as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy on the people of our country who are scared now." So in the rest of her sermon, she addressed LGBTQ plus communities, immigrants, refugees, people fleeing from war and seeking the refuge in our country. This is our speaker who's asked us, what are you called to be right now? Who are we called to be? And we know, as we've talked about all week, this is the first step of reparations. This is the truth-telling of what is true for us in this moment. So I need some more time to fully digest her lecture. If you want to watch it, let me know, and we'll figure out a time to get that to happen. But here are two relevant takeaways for today, especially as I was thinking about UUCT and us moving forward into this process of figuring out who we are. Who are we called to be in this world? The first point she made is that UUs have a call to use, to understand, and to express our prophetic imagination. She said, we are a people who have the ability to imagine a new future of this country, and that is our job to go out there and be prophetic about where we want the world to go. Prophetic in this context simply means truth-telling. It doesn't mean some divine lightning came and struck us. It just says we're telling the truth about what we want to see in the world. And Bishop Bood reminds us that being prophetic is oftentimes a lonely place to be. We will be ahead of the pack. The rest of society will resist the front runners. That is no reason not to say our truths. Because societal change only happens when somebody is out there with the courage to imagine a new future. The second point, her second point, is that when we're doing that and we feel that resistance, it is really easy to fall into contempt, derision, anger, turned to judgment. Especially when somebody is telling their truth that is incredibly vulnerable, or we are telling our truths that are incredibly vulnerable, it is easy to be contemptuous of the person. It is also really easy to feel embarrassed or shame about our vulnerability. So Bishop Bood shared this thing called a dignity index, where we can rate conversations on a scale of 1 to 8. 1 being fully contemptuous. I am better than that other person. I know more than them. They are wrong. They have no right to exist. Can we imagine those people? To the 8s, who are like, we all belong here. Your opinion, your idea is interesting. Let's talk about that some more. Let's figure out where that came from. Why is that important to you? Right? These two ends of the spectrum, one that values the dignity of every person and their worthiness, the other end that ends up in some really dark and ugly places. She says, this is the perfect tool to diagnose other people. It is the perfect tool to say, oh, you're being contemptuous. I am not. It is a better tool when we use it to examine our own communications. Because, she goes on to say, there is such a delight in being right about things. There is such a delight in being right. Now, Bishop Booth's speech yesterday wasn't perfect. She points out, however, that this lived moment nationally and here at UUCT, in times of transition, which we are in, is a time where we can embrace this reparations, this truth-telling, this repair that comes from honoring the dignity of the other person. So, if we steer clear of contempt, we can be curious about other people. When we remember our agreements, our covenant, not with some retaliatory divinity, right? We don't have a covenant with a divinity that's going to take retaliation on us, but we have a covenant with each other. When we remember that, quote, here we practice conscious reflection and honesty with empathy. Here we remember that we are capable of causing harm and being harmed. Those are words from our covenant. And when we remember our covenant, then we remember that we are called in this community to be and to act as our highest selves, to move towards that 8 on the dignity index, and not hold others in contempt when they show us their vulnerability. So, a UU community might remind us that while it feels so good to be right, being right is less important than being in relationship. A UU community might remind us that while it feels so good to be right, it is less important than being curious. A UU community might also remind us that being right, while it feels so incredibly good, is less important than having that hot beverage together, listening to each other's stories, and maintaining a deep respect for each other, even as we show our vulnerabilities and tell our truths and move through these transitions. May we together create that.
Okay. As you participate in today's service, please remember that our congregation depends upon you for your love, your time, and your financial support. For those of you here in person, the ushers will soon be passing the collection baskets among you. For those of you watching us from afar, you can send a check to our church office or give online at uuctucson.org/donate. We should not allow the offering that we take up each Sunday to become a stale habit. Please remember that this is an opportunity to recommit a part of your financial resources to this place and to this congregation. As the offering is collected, announcements about upcoming activities will appear on the screen.
My name's Wendy Gordon Weeks, and I am the president of this incredible congregation. I want to first invite everybody here to social hour after the service in Goddard Hall, which is out those double doors behind you to your left. There will be coffee, iced tea, lemonade, snacks. I understand there's also lunch for purchase, $5 donation. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's awesome because our kitchen ministry is awesome. So please join us for that. The social hour food and refreshments are free for all, but donations are appreciated to help cover our costs. Visitors are encouraged to take one of the red cups you'll see inside the door for whatever beverage you choose. It doesn't have to be for coffee, even though it's a coffee mug. That helps us know who you are and greet you, or stay away from you if that's what you prefer. If you're new, and want to stay in touch with us, you will find a guest information card on our website or in the Welcome Center. You can do it either way. And there's also, that's in the newcomer section of our website. You have heard about our policy regarding uninvited law enforcement on campus. If you have questions about that, please find a board member. Everybody else that's on the board is wearing their blue lanyards, I believe. Mine has not found its way back into my purse after my travels, so I apologize, but I'm also on your board. So find one of us if you have any questions about that. And we are staying up to date on situations we find ourselves in and revising it as necessary. One announcement. Thank you for all the ways you contribute to UUCT. Your time, your talent, your finances. You've given $260,000 in pledges this fiscal year. Woohoo! That's the fiscal year ending June 30th. But $270,000 was pledged, so you have 9 days to get in that last little chunk. We'd love to meet that goal by June 30th. That would help us because we really do count on that. So if you're able to make sure, check in that you've fulfilled the pledge that you've made, that would help us end the year on a good note. And we are continuing. We have a Friday night social activities series. We are continuing that for game night in the summer. The open mic night is on hold for the summer, but there is a game night this Friday, which I will be at, and I hope you'll join us. It's a lot of fun. So again, if you have any questions or comments for your board, find me or anybody wearing the blue lanyard that says Board of Trustees in social hour if you have any questions or feedback. Thank you so much.
Come in, please enter and come here. Come in, we're glad that you are here. You are learning, you are growing, just as we are too. We are thinking, we are singing, so glad to share this space with you.
So, I have a story for us, friends. I have a story for us today. And there are coloring pages up here that correspond to the story. If anybody needs one, I will not watch while you come and pick up a coloring page. This is a once upon a time story, which means it may have happened, it may have not have happened, but it happens. It is set in a very real place called Transylvania. What do we know about Transylvania? Anything? Home of UUs. Dracula, obviously Dracula, yep. It came out of one of our spirited conversations that we should do Dracula Day as UUs. Like, we should do that. So this is a once upon a time story that is set many years ago in the land of Transylvania, is also where our Unitarian siblings kind of coalesced in Transylvania. In this particular village, they are Unitarian. This is the main religion of this village. But they don't have a church. They don't have a building to come to have their services. Maybe they were meeting in a house and they outgrew the house. We can imagine a way that happened. So they decide to get some land. It's up on this hillside, so they have these beautiful views. Transylvania is very wooded. right? So they have these beautiful views, these mountains, these woods that they can look out on. And they decide to build a church. How do you think they built that church? Stone by stone, brick by brick. There's a song there. Somebody should write that. Out of wood, probably, because they had lots of trees, right? Lots of work days. This is exactly where we're going, Janet, because it took the whole village, literally. They had people that were expert bricklayers, and so they brought the bricks and they brought their expertise and showed people how to do it. And they had expert, who does timbers? Carpenters. They had expert carpenters who helped them figure out how the timbers go together. And they had a draftsperson who created the building design, right? And maybe they had a, what's the committee that we're forming on aesthetics? They had an aesthetics committee that said, this is how our chancel should be. This is what our Joys and Sorrows Bowl should be. So they all came together and helped build this really big church together. They got a bell from a faraway city. They imported well, I don't think they had a chalice, but they imported the symbol of Unitarianism in Transylvania. On the last day of construction, everybody goes home except for one little girl named Zora and her dad. At the end of the workday, her dad and Zora are sitting there, probably on the porch of this gorgeous church, and they're looking out over this beautiful valley below them, and they're eating their dinner that they brought from home, and they're watching the sun go down. And Zora says to her dad, "Dad, it's getting dark. What is going to happen to the church when it gets dark? We don't have any lamps." And Dad makes a very brilliant answer. What do you think he answered? I'll build them, possibly. Call the electrician. And this is Transylvania in a long time ago, once upon a time. Yeah, call the candle makers. I have candles. Oh, don't jump ahead, Brian. Zora's dad says, "You're right, but in their homes, every villager is going to bring a lamp back." Because remember, this is old-time lamps or candles or whatever. Everybody in the village is going to bring a lamp back. And sure enough, the sun set, and it's time for their first evening worship service. Everybody comes out of the village with their lamp. And of course, they're lit because they're trying to see their way up the path. And they walk up this path, and Zora and her dad are watching the lamps come up from the village. And Zora's other parent, her other dad, brings the lamp from home, and they put it high up on the sconce, and suddenly the whole church is illuminated. And they have their beautiful worship service, and everybody is just in tears, so proud at the building they have built. And the service is ended. And what happens then?
They took their lamps back.
They took their lamps back, right? These lamps come from their home, and so all the light goes back down this winding path through these woods back to their homes in their villages. And that night, Zora is getting ready for bed, and she says to her dad, "Well, what about next week? Why is the church empty right now? What is going to happen to that lamp?" And now, Brian, what do you think Dad says?
The light is in, you say it.
The light is in each one of us. It is in each one of our homes. And when we extinguish the lamp from the church, we take it home with us out into our lives, and it lives in our hearts. Right? And we say that every single week now, inherited from these Transylvanian Unitarians, that we take this lamp out, this light of courage and hope and justice out into the world with us. So my friends, when you go home today, take that light with you. Speak your truth. Let other people be vulnerable in speaking their truth. And let's get curious at what's out there in the world. May it be so.
Would you stand as you're able to sing the last song? Love is at the Center. It's one that many of you are getting to know. It's a newer song. It's from the new hymnal. And so try to catch the chorus. It comes around, it'll come around twice if you can. And if you can't, just sort of sway on the backbeat a little. See what happens. In the power of giving, I believe.
Would you say these words as we extinguish our chalice? Say these words, "Here and Beyond These Walls" by Craig Rowland. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. With each breath we take, may we remember that the work of love, justice, and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Go in peace with the light of this gathering to illuminate your way.